Good morning, everybody. Today is our fourth day of today's devotional in the book of Galatians. Bangay ni yung riyan ngay tibon sumrap riyan parekompi noknong galati. It's exciting to share this one because I strongly believe that a lot of people would relate with this one. The topic is really relevant nowadays. And in the beginning, I was like, this is really for me. I mean, this topic is for me. But I wanted to share this with you guys because I know that somehow this can be for you as well. And I hope you learn from this video. Right. And again, just like what I usually say or what I used to say from the previous videos that I had, this devotional is for us to communicate or for us to interact with each other. So if you have questions and if you disagree or agree with the points or some of the things that I'm just saying in here, you can definitely comment down or comment below your comments or your questions, suggestions, anything that you want to say. Yeah. But before that, let me share with you guys first a song. You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song. I've deliverance from my enemies. To know my fears are gone. 'Cause I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has called my name. I've been born again into your family. Your blood runs through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. 'Cause I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. 'Cause I am a child of God. 'Cause I am a child of God. 'Cause I am a child of God. Yes, truly, we are no longer a slave to fear or to sin because we are God's children. We are a child. We are children of God. And I'll just jump right into Galatians chapter 4. But this time, I would like to read with you guys verses 8 to 20. This is really the heart, I suppose, of this chapter. I felt Paul saying this to Galatians or to the church of Galatians from his very heart. And he just wanted this message to be heard. He just wanted this message to be applied and for these people to know what he was saying. And he had some frustrations too. He was saying in this chapter, can it be that all my work for you has been for nothing? So that's one of the verses in this chapter. So yeah, allow me to read it for you guys. Again, I'm reading today's English version. You might have a different version, or you might have, if you have Kamay Bible, basa namin Prekompi. Kamay, pesa kamay, ban online. Okay, let's start. In the past, you did not know God, and so you were slaves of beings who are not gods. But now that you know God, or I should say, now that God knows you, how is it that you want to turn back to those weak and pitiful ruling spirits? I really feel Paul's frustration in this question. I had this moment before where I was also like, well, one of the closest people that I know sort of like turn back to the old ways, or stopped following God. So that's also my question. I ask myself, and I basically asked myself. I didn't ask her. I didn't ask that person. It was, maybe that'd be too blunt to ask her about it. But yeah, we can ask also ourselves if we are being tempted to go back to the old ways, or if we are being challenged about the life that we are living now. We can ask this question as well. Like he was saying, how is it that you want to turn back to those weak and pitiful ruling spirits? Why do you want to become their slaves all over again? You pay special attention to certain days, months, seasons, and years. I am worried about you. Can it be that all my work for you has been for nothing? So this is I feel as though, like, if Paul was saying this in person, I'm sure he would still be calm, but that would really come from like frustration, or this kind of heart that is just wanting to be understood, wanting to be heard, or wanting to be obeyed or followed, or something like that. Yeah. I beg you. Yeah, there you go. I beg you, my friends, be like me. After all, I am like you. You have not done me any wrong. You remember why I preached the gospel to you the first time? It was because I was sick. But even though my physical condition was a great trial to you, you did not despise or reject me. Instead, you received me as you would an angel from heaven. You received me as you would Christ Jesus. You were so happy. What has happened? I myself can say that you would have taken out your own eyes if you could, and given them to me. Have I now become your enemy by telling you the truth? Sometimes I feel as though that some of the people that I know, some of the people that are close to me, some of the people that I love, when I tell them something about the Bible or something about the truth in the Bible, I felt like they are considering me hostile, or they're considering me an enemy. So yeah, it's a burden, it's a challenge, it's that feeling that you are being misinterpreted, like you just love them, you just want them to hear the truth. And what else could you, like, how, or like, what are the ways that you could do to make it that light? Because that's the truth. And just like what the people always say, like, truth hurts. And when you tell that to people, whether you like it or not, like, no matter how you presented it or how you have said it to people, I think it would still hurt them in in a way. Yeah, you might do it in a good manner, in a good way, but still, because that is the truth, it would hurt them at some point. Yeah, so perhaps we just have to accept that that's that's the effect of them hearing the truth. And in John 8:32 it says that and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And if you tell them the truth, and when it hurt them, that would be fine in the long run. Like in the beginning, like if you said it would hurt them and it might ruin your relationship as friends or whatever. But upon meditation or realization, it'd be fine. I think it would be of great result or impact for them. Yeah. So let's continue. Those other people show a deep interest in you, but their intentions are not good. All they want is to separate you from me so that you will have the same interest in them as they have in you. Now it is good to have such a deep interest if the purpose is good. I love that. This is true always, and not merely when I am with you. My dear children, once again, just like a mother in childbirth, I feel the same kind of pain for you until Christ's nature is formed in you. How I wish I were with you now so that I could take a different attitude toward you. I'm so worried about you. So basically, Paul was saying that there are people in Galatians that are, there are people that are telling something or that are showing interest to the Church of Galatians, or that in that place in Galatia. In Galatia, and Paul was saying that please be observant, or please be careful whom you listen to, because these people are showing interest in you just like you would show interest in them, but they don't have good intentions. Like maybe or probably they will just use you or lead you astray or bring you in a different kind of belief or direction that you were used to, like that you were used to be taught by Paul. And he was also saying that how you got saved or how you heard the gospel or how you have been trained is like how Paul suffered or how Paul experienced pain or maybe hardship, like that of a mother, when the mother was giving birth to a child, that kind of pain. And I understand and I feel Paul in that sense. Yeah. So, and he was saying that if he was with these people, he might have a different attitude, like maybe a little bit strict, or like would make some discipline or ask them to do something that would really let them remember the relationship or the teachings that they are learning or that they have. So I hope this would encourage you at some point. Like, the main point of this, like Paul was saying, like, don't go back to the old life. Don't go back to your old ways. Don't go back enjoying those sins, or don't go back to like vices and that sort of thing, because you have found peace, you have found joy, you have found love, you have had the salvation, and the best thing to do is to work that out. And I'm sure there are a lot of reasons why you are in that situation right now. I cannot really like jump into conclusion why you are in that situation, or why you are suffering, or why you are why you're struggling right now. Yeah. This world anyway is a world of temptation. This world anyway is not getting better. So there would really be a lot of things that would distract you. But yeah, what I was just saying, that let us be reminded that we are no longer slave, and that we have to, if we are sort of like wallowing into that kind of sin, or if we are sort of enjoying that kind of sin, I think it is time to wake up and be reminded that, hey, I should not be in this place. I'm a child of God, and I should not be doing this again and again. You know what I'm saying? I know that for sure. Like, I mean, for myself, just like I said, that this is also for myself as it is for you. I'm also being reminded that I am no longer slave to fear, to sin, to whatever it is that is making my life miserable. Yeah, and it could be the same for you. Like, we could use this kind of reminder to go on with life, to move on with the life that we are, that God has promised for us, like the kind of life, the wonderful plan, or the life with equanimity. Yeah, that kind of life that is being offered to us by God. Yeah. And in that sense, I suppose, like, Paul in this chapter would be your leaders, or would be your pastors, or would be the people who shared to you the gospel, and then they would say, like, if you are in a struggle again, and if you are still living in sin, if we are still living in sin, I suppose they would go like, can it be like what I have done, like the things that I've taught you mean nothing? Maybe they would be asking the same question. And before when I was still in the Philippines and I was discipling these young people, the joy that I would have from seeing them, or the joy that I would have as a discipler, would be seeing them doing the work of the Lord, and not being in the temptation, or not in the temptation, because we are all like surrounded by temptation, but not giving in, not giving in to all those sort of temptations, and not living a life with misery. Not always asking the leader, like, hey, can you help me out with this, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this is the thing that I would like us to know, like for me as well, not just for you who's watching this video, but for me as well. This would be a very, very wonderful reminder. A great reminder for all of us. And that would be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this has been a blessing to you. And if it did, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Just comment down.